violence occurred in the George Wallace campaign. And, he eventually wound up being shot, but there were some people that got hurt in those. George Wallace got shot.
So can we just talk about that for just a moment, John Avalon, as to why they would cancel this so last minute? Is it because they are concerned about security, that as Jim Acosta just reported, these protesters were able to just come in along with everyone else that was coming to support Donald Trump? When you have this many people there, I would imagine you do not know who's there and what they're planning to do.
Apparently not, but if the goal is to try to minimize the chaos and the violence inside the room, canceling the rally at the half an hour after it's supposed to begin, when you have nearly 10,000 people in a tight arena, actually only in which we are watching right now, you've got protesters and Trump supporters already amped up, agitated in a closed arena with the event being canceled. And that may be better optics for Donald Trump, but it's not necessarily better for the folks in the room. And you're seeing these hyper-partisan passions spill into fights on the floor of this arena right now.
Well, I mean, but this is pretty scary to watch. I mean, I want to just emphasize people again, this stadium fits up to 10,000 people. Jim Acosta, who's there, believes there were somewhere around 8,500 or so. There are a lot of people in that arena right now, and as you can see, these fights breaking out between Trump protesters and Trump supporters. And in some of these, as our camera is showing you, you do not see any kind of security anywhere around. Jim Acosta, you're there. When you see these, how many of these fights break out are you seeing?
I want to say there was a decent amount of police officers here earlier on.
This is America, folks.
Earlier on.
This is America.
A number that was able to keep the peace when it comes to a few protests here and there. There's not enough people in terms of security posture that can handle what we're seeing right now. You can see behind me, there are literally hundreds of protesters behind me.
Chou pa fè non stad, il ta supposé fè, men ou fè ka anonsè ki yo anile rassembleman la. Donc, paske gen pil lot moun ki vin proteste kont Trump.
On a very small scale, but we've not seen anything like this. And what I'm seeing over my shoulder right now is literally, now you see a large contingent of Chicago police officers coming down that staircase over there. Can you see it? There's a large contingent of Chicago police officers coming down the staircase. They are obviously now coming in sufficient numbers to take care of this situation, or at least we hope so. Because earlier on, there just was not the number of law enforcement and security personnel in here to prevent something like this from happening. Down here, just down here on the floor, I don't know if you can see this, there's some more scuffling going on down here. There's a fight going on down here.
Whoa, me battle.
Aaron, nobody delights in this. This is a very sad scene that we're seeing. This is supposed to be American democracy in action. Instead, what we're seeing is just total chaos. We are seeing people just going at each other because of what has been happening. Such a charged atmosphere. The supporters are looking for a fight, and some of the in small numbers, the police, the security, they can handle some of that, but not like this. There's just too many people here looking to cause trouble, and I think really you could say that's happening on both sides, Aaron.
This is, Jim just said this is a tragedy because this is supposed to be American democracy. The tragedy is that perhaps this is representing a significant segment of American democracy right now, where hyper-partisan passions have been so inflamed for so long that when you get a candidate who's been demagoguing to a conservative populist base and a liberal populist base turns out to confront and protest, it is going to be a combustible combination. And that is what we're seeing right now in a city which has a history of violence around politics and conventions in 1968.
Which is an important point, David Gergen.
It is. And this may have, the silver lining may be that this will help purge, this will force everybody to stop and take a breath and figure out how to proceed. The candidate ought to be able to hold rallies. He may have to ticket his rallies. Other people have done that before. You come in through tickets. But he has to take responsibility if there's going to be threats of violence. He has to be the spokesperson for saying we must stop it. It happened in Sarah Palin campaign. There were a lot of racial things about Obama in the 2008 campaign, and really nasty things. And we thought we were on the edge of violence here. And John McCain came out at his rally and said, it's time to treat with decency.
C'est la fin de Donald Trump.
No, they came out and said they were postponing it. Obviously, Donald Trump was a half
This
an
is
hour
the end. This has
behind.
got to be the end
Do
of
you
Donald
know,
Trump,
was there
folks.
any information as to why
This
was
has
there a
gotta be
specific
the end
threat?
of
Was
Donald
it just
Trump.
the overall environment? What caused this to happen? I mean, I would imagine he's nearby, if not right near that center right now.
I would think so, Aaron, and no specific information as to why this event was canceled, but you could just tell as we were talking to you at the top of the hour, there was a whole section of protesters here, hundreds of protesters, and honestly, I think I was being conservative in that estimate. Right now, inside this arena, you probably have half protesters, half supporters, and just to give people a sense of where we are, we're at the University of Illinois at Chicago, near downtown Chicago, basically downtown Chicago. This is a very racially, ethnically, religiously diverse campus. And there were announcements in the news media all day long today from Latino civil rights groups, from progressive groups, from Muslim American groups, that they were planning on disrupting this rally. And the question, Aaron, I think the other big question, and I've talked to some of my friends in the local press here in Chicago, there is a wealth of venues in the Chicago area. You go all the way out to those conservative collar counties outside of Chicago, there are arenas and auditoriums and venues where you can stage a very pro-Trump rally. Donald Trump, for whatever reason, decided to hold a rally almost in the Lion's Den. This is a very progressive city, and here we are seeing another scuffle break out. And just the ingredients that were here, that are present here, just did not make for the right mix in terms of what Donald Trump, wanted to have in terms of a positive rally.
It sounds like
there are just too many volatile elements here.
Sorry, Jim. I was just saying. It sounds like what you're saying. I mean, we don't know exact numbers, so I'm going to emphasize people who are ballparking an arena that fits up to 10,000 people. You're saying half and half now is your feeling of protesters and supporters. So we're talking about thousands of protesters.
That's right. I believe we are looking at thousands of protesters inside this arena right now. We were told by one of the security officials here, there's probably about 8,500 people on hand. But we are seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters in here. Now, gathered below me right now is a group of people who are pro-Trump protesters. They're saying, we want Trump, we want Trump. We ought to show that as well. Obviously, there are lots of Trump supporters here as well. But I have to tell you, Aaron, to position this rally on a campus as ethnically diverse, as religiously diverse as this one, I think this was inviting trouble to some extent because there were so many announcements during the day that there were plans of protest at this rally tonight. And nobody was being turned away.
Yeah, no one was being turned away, which is a significant thing. I suppose in some ways a positive thing that